Hello, my name is Keshwani. That's Keshwani, Keshwani. I have been solving problems out of this book, the GMAT Review, the official guide, 11th edition. If you're preparing for the GMAT, if you're going to take GMAT in the near future, it's imperative that you buy this book. There is no such thing as GMAT preparation without owning this book. You can buy it at mba.com. Right now I'm going to solve a problem that appears on page number 160, problem solving number 61. Problem solving as opposed to data sufficiencies, which I will do later. Let's take a look. If after watching the clip you find it helpful, and if you wish to buy the DVDs that I have put together, which contain the solutions to all the math problems in this book, or if you wish to hire my services for personal private tutoring, get hold of me through email. Go to my website at www.prep4gmat.com. Send me an email and we'll talk. Problem number 61. It says 1 kilometer is approximately equal to 0.6 miles. You have to have the book in front of you. Turn to page 160. 1 kilometer, I'm told, equals, or to be more precise, approximately equals. For those of you who don't know this is what approximately, this symbol means approximately equal to, as opposed to equal to. Approximately equals 0.6 miles. Which of the following approximates the number of kilometers in 2 miles? Alright. Okay, so since we are asking for how many kilometers in 2 miles, I prefer to write the other way around. 0.6 miles equals 1 kilometer. Now, as I said before in my previous clips, for those of you who have watched the other clips, excuse me, as I've said in the previous clips, there are two ways of taking this exam. One is what I call the classical way, the orthodox way, the traditional way, the geeky way, the nerdy way, the proper way, the academic way. And the other one is what I call the quick and dirty way, where one finds shortcuts. One does not sit there and solve the bloody thing in the traditional manner that you and I were taught in the school, because nobody looks at your work. Only thing that counts is that you pick the right answer and that you keep moving. The key here is to keep moving. You cannot take forever and ever to do the proper work. So I'm going to do it the quick way here, the quick and dirty way. And then if you insist, if you're hell-bent on it, I will show you the proper way as well, which is through setting it up as a proportion, kilometers to miles. I'm going to do it that way as well afterwards, but let me show you the quick way. When you're solving a problem in a standardized exam, GMAT is a standardized exam, any standardized exam, when you're solving a problem, there are two components that determine how much work you're going to put into it. Obviously the problem itself, what is being asked, how difficult it is, and how much nitty-gritty they get in the problem. But the other second component, which most people oversee, is how are the answer choices laid out. The answer choices here are, let me just quickly write down here. A, which is 10 over 3. 10 over 3, you should immediately see that it's going to be a little over 3. B is exactly 3. C is little over 1. That's how one reads it. If you're taking the exam, don't read this thing as 6 over 5. It is not a 6 over 5. It's little over 1. Or if you're quick enough to see, it's actually 1.25, or rather 1.2, because it's 1 1/5. D is 1/3. And finally I have E, I hope you're able to see this thing last at the very bottom, which is 3/10. 0.3. Let's take a quick look at here, enough of the talk. Well, if 0.6 miles is 1 kilometer, what do you suppose 1.2 miles would be? 1.2 miles, which is twice this amount, has to equal approximately 2 kilometers. I'm going to keep on going until I get very close to 2 miles. That's where I need to go. I need to get to close to 2 miles. Let's do one more. If I add one other 0.6, it's going to be 1.8. 1.8 miles should equal approximately 3 kilometers. What is the question asking? Which of the following best approximates the number of kilometers in 2 miles? I have to go 2 miles. You see, if 1.8 miles equals 3 kilometers, then it stands to reason that 2 miles 2 miles, I'm using m for miles here, must equal approximately something more than 3 kilometers. You see, 3 plus is all alright, something more than 3. But do you see any answer choice that you can cross out based on that much work? Correct answer choice, in other words, the correct answer choice, whatever it is, has to be more than 3. Because if 0.6 is 1 kilometers, 1.2 has to be 2 kilometers, 1.8 has to be 3 kilometers. We're looking for 2 miles. 0.6 miles is 1 kilometers. If I add 0.6 to that, 1.2 miles is 2 kilometers. 1.8 miles is 3 kilometers. Therefore, 2 miles has to be more than 3 kilometers. As you can see right away, I can cross out every answer choice. Everything is gone, except A. That's it. That's my answer. That's what I would do in the real exam if I were taking it. But let's see the proper way, if you're curious. Which method do I adopt in the real exam? The classical way or the non-classical way or the proper way or the quick and dirty way? Depends on the problem, depends on my mood, depends on how much time I have, depends on many factors. Because I'm not a robot. One does not take an exam like a robot. It is not a mechanical thing where I can program somebody and say, just this is how you're going to behave and that's it. It's a skill. And you're going to have to practice in order to develop that skill, which is what I teach in my prep course when I teach private tutoring face-to-face, because it's much easier for me when I'm dealing with one individual. After a few sessions, they begin to get a hang of it as to how to adapt themselves. That's the key part here. You have to adapt yourself based on the environment, based on the question, based on the amount of time that you have, based on your mood, everything. So let's do it again. I'm going to set it up as kilometers over miles. And I'm told that 1 kilometer equals 0.6 miles. The question is how many kilometers in 2 miles? So let's cross multiply here. 1 times 2 gives me 2 and 0.6 miles, 0.6x rather. And all I have to do is solve for x. Divide both sides by 0.6. This 6.6 goes away, and x equals to 2 over 0.6. I hope that you're able to see that if I multiply top and the bottom by 10, if I multiply top and the bottom, which I'm allowed to do, as long as you multiply or divide the numerator or denominator by the same number, it's okay. As long as you add or subtract the same number from both sides of the equation, it's okay. As long as you multiply both sides of the equation or divide both sides of the equation by the same number, it's okay. So if I were to multiply top and the bottom by 10, I end up with 20 over 6, which is same as 10 over 3. As you can see, the answer is A. See, that's the difficult part about putting these clips together, because I really don't know who I'm dealing with. I have no idea who you are. I don't know what part of the world you're sitting in. I don't know how much math you know, how skilled you are. So I don't know how much detail. Some of the things that I explain here were too basic, very basic. So I don't know what kind of help you need. When I'm doing private tutoring, when I'm doing personal tutoring, of course I adapt my teaching style based on the person. Because some people need this kind of help, and a lot of people don't need that kind of help because this is too basic. But if you need this help, this is there. That was it. We're done. Send me an email. Go to prep4gmat.com. prep, F-O-R, gmat.com. Send me an email. Tell me what you think if you wish to buy the DVDs for the math problems. All the math, there are about 400 of them. 250 problem solving questions and about 150 data sufficiency. If you wish to buy the DVDs of the math problems for GMAT, or if you wish to hire my services for private tutoring, I'm located in Connecticut. But of course, as I always say, I'm willing to go anywhere as long as it is something that is enticing to me. Also, if you wish to get these clips right away, as soon as I upload them, subscribe to my channel on YouTube, and that way you will be notified immediately as soon as I upload a clip. Thank you. I'll see you in next problem number 62. Thanks.